now clear to line up, Costa. You can follow me through on the controls. We're lining up for takeoff runway 22. On the lineup, we check the approach is clear, check base is clear, both left and right base, check runway is clear. All checks are complete. Light is going on, transponder is going on.
Now crossing 36.
Lining up runway 22. First and last towards the end of the runway.
Radar 126.
Once we line up with the runway heading, which the GI corresponds with the runway heading as well as the compass. Okay. Landing light is on. We're now waiting for takeoff clearance.
Phone 04, clear takeoff, wind 200 degree 04 knots, left and out.
Clear for takeoff with the left and turn out, Griffin 04. Okay, follow me through please. Okay, once we are cleared for takeoff, we smoothly and progressively open the throttle over about 3 to 5 seconds to full throttle. 1, 2, check, keep the airplane lined up at the end of the runway using rudder pedals. Check temperatures and pressures are in the green, the airspeed's coming alive, and the RPM in the roll is more than 2,350 RPM. At 55 knots, we rotate, progressively pulling the stick backwards, get the airplane airborne. Once we're airborne, just gently release some back pressure to allow the speed to accelerate to 65 knots. Once we have the climbing attitude, try and pick a reference point on the nose and fly towards that reference point. All runway heading. Once we're airborne, we maintain the climb speed of 65 knots, we keep the ball in the middle, and we check for positive climb. When we reach 400 feet, we'll do our after takeoff checks, which is our bump checks. Approaching 400 feet now, brakes on off, undercarriage is up, undercarriage is fixed, throttle is set, full throttle, pitch we don't have, mixture is set, up already, temperatures and pressures are normal, landing lights can go off, and we don't need any fuel pumps. We're going to do a left-hand circuit, 500 feet, check all clear left, clear right, clear left. We'll start a climbing turn to the left, 15 degrees angle of bank, maintaining 65 knots. We'll aim to roll out, in this case there's no wind, so we'll roll out approximately 90 degrees while runway heading. Roll out 90 degrees to our runway heading, there's no wind in this case, or very little. We now continue the climb to 1,000 feet AGL, in this case 1,000 feet on the altimeter. We're prepared to level off the same way we normally would with the climbing case. So we go approaching altitude, lower the nose, so it's attitude, allow the speed to build up. Once the speed builds up a bit, reduce the power and trim. Once we have sufficient space onto downwind, we do another lookout, left, right, left, and in this case we turn left parallel to the coastline, which is pretty much parallel to the runway. Now we can do a 30 degree angle of bank turn, seeing that it's a level turn. As soon as we are on downwind, established on downwind, we can do our call to get that out of the way. Griffin 04, left downwind runway 22 for a touch and go.
104, report final runway 22.
Approach runway 22, next Griffin 04. Okay. On downwind, we just run through some checks. We're maintaining altitude, 1,000 feet, bumps, checks against, brakes on, off, undercarriage down, mixture set, pitch set, throttle is set, temperatures and pressures are fine. In this case, we're going to keep the flaps up until we turn onto base, then we'll start applying flaps. And fuel is on, fullest tank, and fuel is on and sufficient. We'll take our landing light on as well. Now, we make sure that on downwind we maintain parallel to the coastline, that we're not converging or diverging away from the runway. This is about the distance that we need from the runway. In order to estimate our turn onto base, we wait until the runway threshold is approximately 40 degrees below the left wingtip, and it's a good time to turn. When we turn, we'll make it a 30 degree medium level turn onto base. For Larnaca Airport, we can use the small marina there as a reference of when to turn. That's also a good guide. When we pass a beam, the fisherman's marina there, we'll turn onto left base. car beat on, reduce the throttle to 1700 RPM, initially maintaining altitude, allowing the speed to drop into the white rock, applying 10 degrees of flap, still maintaining altitude, now the speed to settle, and now take 20 degrees of flap, and lower the nose in order to maintain the speed of 65 to 70 knots now. A good guide is to have the RPM set at 1700 RPM, and obviously if it's too high or too low, we make necessary power adjustments in order to correct for the height profile. Okay, before turning final approach, check it's all clear, left, right and left. Turning final approach. We can make this up to anything up to 30 degrees angle of bank. Final approach, we're slightly higher, so I'm going to take full flaps, maintain the speed of 65 to 70 knots.
04, runway 22 clear, touch and go, wind 200 degrees 04 knots, left hand circuit.
Okay, touch and go with the left hand circuit, Griffin 04. Okay, now on final approach, we control our height with power, and we control the speed with the elevator. So yeah, we're still a little bit high, so I'm going to reduce the power a little bit and lower the nose a little bit to get onto profile. We're now on profile, so I can increase the power slightly again and maintain the speed using the elevator. Approaching 200 feet, carburetor heat can go off. Landing checks complete, we have got landing clearance. Now we just concentrate on the landing. We can follow the poppies, initially 2 reds, 2 whites until we get over the runway threshold, and then we disregard the poppy lights and continue looking just at the runway profile. When we get to approximately 30 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, we start the round out, and at the same time we can start reducing the throttle. We now look towards the end of the runway and progressively increase the back pressure on the stick in order to hold up the aeroplane until we have the landing attitude. Keep pulling back, there's the stall warning, and there's the touchdown. Okay, we continue with the takeoff, with the touch and go, we raise the flaps up. You have controls? I have controls. And you can continue with the takeoff.